So you see what's happening here, right? You see what's happening here. You have, how do you rate SBL on price? 45% say poor. Poor. So there's definitely an issue with price. And those who have been in SBL for less than 10 years, they are also claiming that, they pitch the quality around good and fair. But you can see that for price, it's quite glaring. It's quite glaring. So pricing is an issue. Pricing is an issue. That is probably one of the reasons why their turnover is down. Their turnover is down. I hope that makes sense.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So definitely, I'm predicting that something around pricing, somewhere might just show up. Might just show up. But I'll just show my likely questions. And the likely questions to help you, know the areas where to prepare and all that. But I've always found that giving the students the foundation, it helps them.
Last time I also was C.
Sorry?
Somebody's background.
That was a difference.
Please.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you have analysis of market position, manufacturing, the turnover. Okay, I was even come to talk about this divisional performance. They might give us more detail in the case, in the exam, right? In the exam, they might give us more detail. But if you look here, this division, right? If you pick manufacturing, the turnover percentage is 55%, retail and distribution, 25%, export is 20%, right? So these two divisions, retailing and distribution and manufacturing, they are declining in terms of turnover. Export has a huge advantage, which we saw when we are looking at, when we are doing our analysis. Export has a huge advantage. I don't know, anyway. Now you look at.
Who are those? Please mute.
Okay, so you have so you look at turnover in relation to market share, right? In relation to market share. Now, look at this very, very carefully because I would want you to take note of this. Manufacturing's turnover has declined from 57 to 55. Their market share too has declined from 14 to 12. Where you see market share increasing, you see turnover increasing. Where you see market share declining, you see turnover also declining. Yeah. So what do you think are some of the things we could do to increase manufacturing turnover and increase retailing and distribution turnover? What are some of the things we could do? What are some of the things you can do to increase turnover for manufacturing, for these two dying? They are not dying, but they are experiencing decline in turnover. What are some of the things you can do to increase their revenue?
Okay,
So for the retail and distribution, just like what Green Company is doing, and what they plan to do, partner with probably hospitals to help distribute, their products. So
Okay,
here
that's
probably, you can sell to them. Yeah.
That's a good one. What about manufacturing? What can you do to increase manufacturing turnover?
So I think they can also get a better supplier who can, maybe the raw materials who can be at a reduced price. In that way,
Fantastic. Fantastic. Sorry, go ahead. Though. I cut you short. Sorry.
So when they get a good supplier who can give them the raw materials at a reduced price, I'm sure their pricing will go down and people will, purchase more.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So, those are ways which you can, probably the raw materials that they are purchasing is too high. So if they can get it a bit low, it helps them. Overall, it helps them. What was I even going to say? So some models that come to mind: value chain, definitely important. Value chain is definitely important here.
Hello,
Value,
sir.
yes.
Yeah, can we add to the manufacturing? Somewhere in the passage, they complain of their machine being obsolete, which is adding up to the cost there. Can we suggest that they should quickly inject some capital there to buy new efficient machine to
Yes,
add
yes,
to the
yes, yes. So, yeah, so that's something that we'll be talked about. I think we talked about. So thanks for raising that. Thanks for raising that too. But the only implication of that is, that it's a two-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
It's a two-edged sword. So when you increase revenue, there's also an investment side to it. It's just like what Caleb also mentioned as well. Sometimes when you want to improve distribution, it also comes at a cost. But you do your cost-benefit analysis, and overall, if it helps you as an organization, you should definitely take advantage of it. Now, exports seem to be going well, so I will do my best to improve, realign your resources so that you can expand in terms of your exports. Okay. Now, in this case, on this pre-sale material, they talk a lot about human resource. That's why I keep on mentioning the balance scorecard. So here you see that for manufacturing, we have in 2019, we have 295, then we reduced it to 270, right? Then retailer and distribution, we have 250, then we reduced it to 200. Now this reduction in retail and distribution, okay, let me just go through the numbers. Then for exports, you have 25, then you increase it to what? 30. Okay. What do you think about this distribution? What do you think about this distribution? And the overall thing is that their headcount has reduced from 570 to 500. So I don't know, but it seems that they've let some of the employees go. So they've reduced their employees by 70 in just a year. Do you think this is a good idea? Let's look at the overall picture first. Do you think that this is a good idea? What do you think? What are your thoughts? When you see a 70 people reduced, from the head count. What do you think about this?
Maybe because of the challenges they are facing
Yes.
with the bottom line.
So it's possible because of the challenges they are facing. So they are trying to streamline their payroll,
The cost, yeah.
you know, cost of payroll, so that they don't pay too much. But in terms of realignment of staff, right? You have 500 employees. Now, export has a huge potential, you know, so in terms of the quality and quantity of staff, it will be wise to have, you know, an increase in headcount when it comes to export, especially in line with their aim of expanding operations. It will be reasonable, you know, to do that. To be reasonable to do that. Retailing and distribution is an area where you can use a lot of alliances and digitization.
Yeah.
Now, when you bring digitization and alliances in here, you can reduce headcount substantially.
Yeah.
And reassign some of the headcounts upon training into exports and possibly manufacturing if need be. So that's how you think about reassigning headcounts or reassigning staff. So that's all I'll talk about it for now. God willing, when we meet again, I'll talk more into that. Then you have intangible assets. Intangible assets relate to the development of new products. So you see, we talked about it, right? New product that have been developed, the patents for new products. Since these products are not yet on the market, no amortization has been recorded. And we have been given an appendix on that. So overall, this is the case. This is the pre-sin material. What are your thoughts on it so far? On a scale of 0 to 10 in the charts, please tell me what your understanding of the pre-sin material has been and your level of comfort with the pre-sin material on a scale of 0 to 10. In the chat, just say on a scale of 0 to 10, if it's 8, 6, 1, 10 means good, very, very good or excellent. 0 means it's bad. So on a scale of 0 to 10, let me know your level of comfort and how you're feeling about the pre-sin material so far. Okay, I need more votes. Only 3 people have voted. I just want to see, before we dive into the models, the likely questions, and the general report on the case. I just needed to be sure that everyone has an understanding before we dive into that. How are you feeling? Is it okay? Give me some feedback, please, before we call it a day. Is everyone okay? Okay, I think people are okay. So people have voted. Okay, people have voted, and it's quite impressive. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with me. Does anyone have any questions? If no one has questions, then what we will do is Melody says 7. Melody, they have to do fasting before it to go to 9 or 9 or 9.5. So yeah, but you'll get there. You get there. It will be maybe you get there. It's not that difficult. So does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, sir, I want to find out what we are left to do. Are you likely to use tomorrow to complete it?
I should think so.
My exact question.
Because we have just 1 week to reposition ourselves and focus on some few areas to be able to write to us.
Oh yes, sure. Because the main part of this whole analysis is the breakdown, right? Now, once you have the breakdown, I have my analysis that I've done in a PDF document that you can it's easy to skim through because we've discussed the issues already. The reason why I do this is because, if I tell students to read, everybody comes in with their level of understanding. If I jump straight into my analysis, we might not be on the same page. So yes, most likely we can finish. Yes. Very, very, very sure about that. Sorry.
Please, I was saying that is it possible for us to have the PDF document so that if we can read before we meet tomorrow, we can go through before?
I'll see if that's possible because I'm trying to make some additions and subtractions to it. So if that's possible,
Okay.
hopefully, yeah. Let's see. But definitely you should get it after everything is done. So I'll send you the document plus, some other materials that should help in your preparation. Okay. All as one. Yes, and Melody, thank you for reading too.
Oh, thank you too.
You saved the day. All right, so does anyone have any questions? If no one has questions, then I'll send the recordings to you guys. Thank you very much for participating. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you too so much for your time.
Thank you.
We are grateful, sir.
Very good.
Okay, welcome.
We will qualify and come and celebrate with your $200.
Amen.
Okay.
Sir, please, someone's asking the time we are meeting tomorrow. 6 or 5?
5 or 6.
Hey, 5, will it be okay for you people?
Yeah,
Some
people
people
would have just closed from work.
Yeah. I'm even thinking 6:30.
No problem.
Because I don't know if you people would have finished work and all that. So
the traffic situation and everything. So I think 6:30 is fine.
Yeah, 6:30.
Else people will be in the car driving, listening, and all of that.
Then let's also be aware that we're going to do it into the night so that at least we can cover enough to close the day.
As a mom. As well.
Yeah, so
yes, we will.
So tell them that it means that it will go into the night. But the next session should
cross the 9.
The next session would be a lot simpler because we've covered all the grounds. That's my main focus. The reason why I cover all the grounds is because, last sitting it happened. So that's how I approach. Yeah, 6:30, that would be the time. So that's how I approach everything, because sometimes the ICA can totally twist things off. We can go off, and if it goes off, those who were just reading books, reading materials without understanding the pre-scene itself and, the nuances in the pre-scene, that's why I like you guys to think aloud. That's why when Caleb is thinking aloud, when Melody is thinking aloud, and all of you guys are thinking aloud, I like it. So that when the question is twisted anywhere, you have, at least some gist of knowledge about it. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. So 6:30, God willing, tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. And
thank you too.
Good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye.